Live now. Hi, good evening, Bhante, and all Gayana Mita Sukihoto. I'm Brother Lim, and welcome to Sutta Discussion Day 99 by Bhante Dr. Kango Dawila Chandima. And tonight we are going to discuss about the second class of the Āḷavaka Sutta with the topic best wealth, true happiness, best taste, and the best life. And this Zoom class is always open. So for those who are interested to join, please contact us on the Ti-Ratana Aman Vadana Facebook messages and can directly register through QR code that is in our latest Sutta discussion guide. We also uploaded the previous Sutta discussion class on the Ti-Ratana Vihara Aman Vadana Facebook page and YouTube channel. Our speaker, Bhante Dr. Kango Dawila Chandima, is the senior advisor of Sutta. Sutta is a virtual Dharma organization that helps beginner as well as expert students in learning the Dharma in Bali class, Sutta discussion class, Dharma talk, and variety ways. You can check on the Sutta with the link www.patisotta.blogspot.com. In 2015, Bhante Dr. Chandima earned a PhD in the Buddhist study from a university in Jayawardenepura in Sri Lanka. From 2012 and 2016, Bhante served as the Theravada Buddhist chaplain at the University of British Columbia, Vancouver, Canada, and in 2016 was a research fellow at the Center of Religions and Society of University of Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. Without further ado, we welcome Bhante Dr. Chandima and thank you very much, Bhante, for the wonderful guidance and teaching. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Brother Lim. Good evening, Dharma friends. Welcome back. We are going to conduct our Sutta discussion, day 99. So before we get started, shall we pay respect to the Buddha? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. I think there may be some newcomers for today. Do we have some newcomers for today's class? You are a newcomer. All right. Oh, there is one.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, Bhante.
Yes. Yes. What's your name?
Ang. My surname is Ang. Yeah.
Okay, great. Welcome. Okay, so then we have two new faces. Where are you joining from?
KL.
Yeah, okay. How about Brother Leon? It should be somewhere here.
Subang Jaya.
Subang Jaya. Okay, good, good. All right. So I hope that you can catch up with our previous recordings. This is going to be our second class about the Sutta, Āḷavaka Sutta. Actually, today is the day that we are going to start off discussing the contents. Okay, so today we have Lim, Margaret Tan, Kelvin, you only, TC Lim, Kim, Melinda, Samita, Leon, Barbara, Ang, Jacqueline, Boon, Lee, Wongi, Nai, Cheng, Brother Wu. I got a message that Aliana is not able to join because of internet connection issues. Anyways, so Yeah, so we will get started our class by looking at the text. Our topic today is going to be best wealth, true happiness, best taste, and best life. Actually, these were the questions asked by the Yakka Āḷavaka from the Buddha. So, Āḷavaka Yakka knows the answers, but he wants to check from the Buddha. Earlier, he asked other monks, other wandering monks, these questions. So when they could not answer these questions, he kind of bullied them. The Yakka bullied those monastics. They may be not Buddhist. That's why Yakka thinks that if you are a monk and nun, you should be able to answer these questions. Otherwise, I'm going to throw you to the other shore of the universe or whatever, right? Let's see the text. Okay, these are the questions. So, verse number 8 is where the Yakka asked these questions. King Su, I think we can ask from someone to read, just to make some curiosity. Who would like to read this text? So, stanzas.
I read Bhante.
Okay, let's go ahead.
Kim Suda Vittam Purisasa Settam Kim Su Suchinam Sukama Wahati Kim Su Have Sadhu Taram Rasanam Katam Jivin Jivita Mahu Setanti.
Okay, great. King Su the Vittang Purisasa Settang King Su Suchinnam Sukhama Vahati King Su Have Sadhu Tarang Rasa Katang Jiving Jivitamahu Settanti. There was somebody who was trying to read the text, and at the point of the third line, he got kind of mixed up with English and Pali. Kinsu have sadhu tarang rasa. Kinsu have. Kinsu have. H-A-V-E is English. No, it's not English, it's Pali. Kinsu have sadhu tarang rasa. Katang jiving jivitama setta. Okay, let's identify the words. King Su, what? Vittam Purisasa Settam. Vittam means wealth. Settam Vittam. Best. Settam means best or the greatest. The greatest or the best. Vittam means wealth. Purisasa, this could be taken as a person. What is the person's greatest wealth? Best wealth. Right? This is the first question. Okay. King Su, Suchinnam Sukhamavahati. Avahati. Avahati means brings. So, Suchinnam. Suchinnam means practice. Maybe when you practice something as a habit. Achinna. Achinna here, Suchinna. Suchinna means when someone practices something as a habit. So, Sukha. So, what brings happiness when practiced well, when someone practices well? Suchinna. So, Suchinna means practice as a habit. Sukham. Sukham means happiness. Avahati means brings. What brings happiness when practiced well? Again, King Su, what? Have sadhu tara. Sadhu tara means sweetness. Sweetness. You can see here. Rasana. What is the sweetest taste?
Yes.
sweetest taste. Sadhu Taram. You don't have to think about a food or a drink over here. This has been given as a metaphor. Sadhu Taram means what is the sweetest out of all the tastes. Prasana means taste. Then Kata means how. How. Jiving Jivita Mahu Settanti. How to, what kind of a life which is spent in the best way. You can translate that this to be the one they say has the best life. What is the best life? And what can someone do to live to the best of he or she can in his or her life. Katan Jiving Jivita Mahu Settang. The Settang again here, best. And Jivitang means life. And Jiving means life. Jivitang means how to spend the best life. So how to spend the best life. So once again, questions are, what is the person's greatest wealth or best wealth? What brings happiness when practiced well? Sutinam means practice as a habit. And Sadhutara means what you call the sweetness. Prasanam means taste. What is the sweetest taste of all? And Kata means how to have lived to the best of, how to have lived to the best of us in our life. Are these very important questions? What do you think? Are these very, very important questions, or are they kind of very difficult to answer?
Yes, is
Someone is to ask you these questions. Do you think that you have to take a moment of time to think about these questions? Yes, because we are not going to answer these questions in simple way, right? You have to think a little bit more, right? Because we all have been living in certain ways. So in order for Yakka, Āḷavaka Yakka to ask these questions, what do you think? Yakka should have been a little bit wiser, right? So this Āḷavaka Yakka should have understood the life in certain ways, even though he was mad when the Buddha entered his palace. At the same time, are these questions relevant to today's world? These questions, they are very relevant, right? Okay, let's see the answers of the Buddha. Okay, who would like to read this part? Anyone?
Kai
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Saditta Vittam Purisassa Settang Dhammo Suchinno Sukhang Ma Vahati Satchang Have Sadhutarang Rasanang Panya Jivim Jivitamahu Settanti.
Saddhida Vittang Purisassa Settang Dhammo Suchinno Sukhama Vahati Satchang Have Sadhutarang Rasanang Panya Jivitamahu Settanti. Now, what are the answers? Buddha's answers are very clear to the previous questions. The Buddha said, Saddha is the greatest wealth. Okay, Saddha is the greatest wealth. We will study what is Saddha. Then, if Dhammo Suchinno, when someone practices Dhamma as a habit, right, then that will bring Sukhama Vahati, the happiness. So that kind of life is the way how to create happiness. Then Satchang Have Sadhu Tarang Rasan. There are many tastes in this world, but speaking the truth or truthfulness is the greatest taste. Panya Jivitamahu Setta. living according to the wisdom is the best way to live a life. So a wise living is the best way to have lived. All right, let's discuss this part with the answers so that we will understand his answers to the yatta. Vittang means again wealth, Purisasetta, greatest, Saddha. Okay, what does Saddha mean? Saddha has two meanings. Huh? One is Saddha about the triple gem. Triple gem. The other one is about Saddha about trust. What are the two contexts of Saddha, two meanings of Saddha? Confidence about the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, or maybe trust about the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. This is a very famous meaning. While the second one is trust about oneself. So the Buddha says, this is the best wealth. Now, even if you leave out the first meaning, even if you take the second meaning here, when you have lots of confidence about yourself and about the people around you, you have lots of trust. You have what you call less insecurities about other people. So then, what do you think? You feel like your life is flowing smoothly. What if you have lots of insecurities, lot of suspicions about people around you? This person will take advantage of. Then this person will do this thing to me. You're always living with doubts, right? So that you don't have Sat. Sometimes you have earned a lot of things in your life, many things, but you don't have enough Saddha to spend that life, right? So that's why the Buddha says the greatest wealth is not money, it's not education, it's not other XYZ material things. They are also kind of wealth. But the greatest wealth is creating a certain confidence, security about yourself and the people who are around you. So how many of us have been able to be blessed with that? Right? Have we been able to be confident about us and about other people around us? Or are we every time going to doubt us and other people? So that's why the Buddha said Saddha is the greatest wealth. The meaning to this answer is mainly coming from our life. It's not about the Buddha Dhamma Sangha's confidence about the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. You can take that also. So if somebody has an unwavering trust, aviccappasada, about Buddha Dhamma Sangha, it is also one of the ways to look at the best wealth. What would happen to you when you have lots of trust about the Buddha Dhamma Sangha? You are very confident as well, because you have your teacher and you have the Dhamma and you have the support from the Sangha, spiritual support from the Sangha. But it's not enough just because you get the support. But what if that you are not confident by yourself about you, right? Some people, when they talk about the triple gem, they get a little emotional. We don't have an emotional confidence. Whatever the saddha we have to create in terms of Buddha Dhamma Sangha has to come from a good understanding. So the Buddha talks about two types of saddha. I think that is another level. So I would write them here. Two types of saddha. Now, saddha in terms of the answer is either, or maybe the both, triple gem and trust about yourself and the people around you. But if you want to understand saddha, saddha as a term, as a concept, there are two ways. There are two things the Buddha talks about saddha. One is the amolika saddha. What is it? Amolika. Amolika saddha. Amolika saddha means there are people who blindly believe everything what they get to see, what they get to hear. Have you seen such people? There are such people. They are believing whatever the things that they are going to see, hear. Buddha never appreciated that kind of saddha. Because they have misunderstood saddha between two things. One is learning Dhamma, questioning Dhamma, reading Dhamma, so that you are trying to clear your mind. And then the opposite side has been pushed as the people who don't want to question about them, just believe whatever the things they get to see. This is a problem. Within that Dhamma learning, we understand that saddha has to be practiced by understanding that we don't blindly believe anything. We are not supposed to believe anything blindly. It's something very important. Even the Buddha asks us to question about what we are going to learn. We might not be able to understand them, but you also have to understand that there are things that we need to keep in mind when questioning. We might be overly questioning about things, but a general way of asking a question about Buddha Dhamma Sangha is acceptable. It's not unwholesome, right? So, amolika saddha means saddha someone has based on a blind belief. That person is going to believe everything blind, right? I think we discuss a couple of things about it. Let's say trying to believe something without trying to understand the common sense. Let's say somebody is going to give a dana to Sangha members, and then thinking that I'm not going to taste the food that I'm going to offer, because out of lots of respect, right? So that kind of respect is amolika saddha, because you have to taste the food before you offer it. Because sometimes you may have added lots of salt into that. Sometimes you may have added other things. So I always say that don't make Sangha as guinea pigs in your understand. That's amolika saddha. You know? This is one thing. Let's say you happen to go to a vihar and then you see new things, maybe probably a Vesak pandal, Vesak float. You might question, what is this Vesak float? What is the Vesak pandal? Why people are doing these things? It's bad to ask a question. It's not out of disrespect, right? You want to know what is this, right? So if you are somebody like that, you have a certain way of being curious, not trying to make it a problem, not trying to make it a scene in the situation, then it is not amolika saddha. It is called Āḷavaka saddha, the second saddha, which means the saddha the Buddha actually appreciated. I'm going to write it here. Āḷavaka. Āḷavaka saddha. Okay, amolika saddha means baseless trust. Āḷavaka saddha means saddha in which someone is trying to understand what's going on. Maybe there is a certain way of rationalization, trying to understand what's going on. It has a base. That kind of saddha has a base. So we need Āḷavaka saddha. Ākāravati Saddha means you are trying to trust in something, somebody with a base, with a foundation. Without a foundation, never ever trust anybody, right? So when someone has been able to have this Ākāravati Saddha about the Buddha Dhamma Sangha on one side, at the same time, if that person can trust about himself, herself, and the people around him or her, then this person is having the Saddha as the best wealth. Okay. So how do you achieve this Saddha? You must have Ākāravati Saddha about Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Now I'm going to ask you how to make Ākāravati Saddha about the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. You need to sort of rationalize. Maybe sometimes ask some questions about the Buddha. It is not bad. It is not a disrespect. Right? There are people who have lots of questions, but because they misunderstand that by asking a question, they are sort of criticizing the Sangha, they are not going to ask it. They should ask the question. Clear it. Clear it. So that is Ākāravati Saddha. And if you look at Ākāravati Saddha, in the long run, you will see there is another term that is going to add on to the Ākāravati Saddha, which is called Aveccappasada. Aveccappasada means when you rationalize, when you ask a lot of questions, then you clarify, then you come to a point that your Saddha is well rooted, is really founded upon the true sources. At the same time, your that kind of Saddha is not going to shake or waver time to time. What is happening to many people's Saddha? Today it is good, then that person is going to hear something not nice about somebody, maybe from the, I don't know, XYZ people. Then they are going to then probably gossip, probably misunderstand. Then they are going to, what do you call, damage their own Saddha. But they show that they have Saddha from their, what do you call, external activities, but it is already gone. So the answer to the question, what is the best wealth? The best wealth in someone's life is being able to have confidence about oneself and the people around that person. This is the main thing. On the other hand, one is going to create Ākāravati Saddha about the Buddha Dhamma. So this is the greatest wealth in one's life. But the money you have been making, the education you have been making, the Dhamma knowledge you have been making, the people you've been making are going to be overpowered by this confidence. So it's very, very important. Right? Any questions about this answer about the Buddha?
Is it proper to ask the Sangha whether they like certain food or not? Whether they
ask Sangha to?
Is it proper to ask the Sangha whether they enjoy or like certain food, or whether they like the food that has been offered?
Yeah, you can ask their likes and dislikes. Likes and dislikes are not observed. Yeah, because they may have some medical requirements, right? Maybe, yeah. So it's not bad, because then you actually, there is a Pali word for this. What is it? It says Vichaya Dhanam Sugata Pasatta. This is a Pali stanza in Majjhima Nikaya. Vichaya Dhanam, inquiring about how best to do the dana, is a very important activity during the dana activity. Vichaya Dhanam means you have to ask. Otherwise, you cook whatever you want and you go and you offer and you should eat. What a bad activity is that? That is your pick. That is not what they want. Not about the Sangha even. Even anybody, if you want to give anything to anyone, just make sure whether this is going to be okay. I know sometimes you can't ask that. You are going to do things without that, but for the Sangha or maybe other person, you are going to kind of inquire about what is best to offer. Vichaya dana sugatapasattan. The Buddha has admired the dana in which the dayaka, devotees, are going to inquire what is better to offer. Maybe I'm going to, I think I can post it later in the WhatsApp group. Vichaya dana sugatapasattan. Any other questions about this? About
Bhante,
Sutta?
what happens if we ask a question and the answer from the Sangha member does not agree with our own thinking? So how do you resolve and not agree with the Sangha's answer?
Come on up. Be very open to this question. What are you not going to agree with? Is it about the
Because
food?
in life,
No, I
generally
don't
in
think.
life,
Okay, maybe you can continue your question after. Now, let's say the Lim's question. Let's say you are going to inquire about the food,
okay.
right? So I think normally the Sangha members don't say this is what I like, unless you're going to ask, right? Normally it's not happening. Normally it's not happening. I don't know. In the worst case scenario, what could be the things that can be happening? Okay, please continue your question.
I mean to say, when we ask a question and the answer not in accordance to our thinking, not in accordance to our thinking, so there is a little bit of what shall I say? Slight disacceptance, not really accepting the answer.
Disagreement.
Yes, a little bit disagreement. Slightly.
No, I mean, okay, so let's say you are going to ask a question, Dhamma question, right? Dhamma question from a Sangha member. So then that Sangha member will answer you in the way he understands. He has understood. So you don't have to argue with him.
I didn't argue. That is the problem.
You just hear it. You just hear it. And then if you are not satisfied with the answer, you are going to ask another Bhante. Right? So we have to make everything peaceful, because we are looking for the peace.
Yes.
Peace is our expectation here.
Yeah.
So everyone is different. Right? There shouldn't be a problem. So we just, okay, this is his answer or her answer. Yes, Kim?
I say, Brother Wu, that means it's not a sincere question.
No. Sincere question. Because he has some preconceived ideas and want to seek confirmation from the Sangha member, so we pose the question. So when the answer comes back, it's not so in agreement with what we think.
Yeah.
A little
So
bit.
you shouldn't have to struggle with that. Even we don't sometimes agree with our family doctor. I mean, you go see the family doctor, he says something, you might not agree with him. But what about the Sangha member then? Just forget about it. Just listen to what he is saying. And then if you are not satisfied, you have the option to, maybe you can browse search. Because you are not going to convince a Sangha member. That's not a good thing. Rather, you go on your Dhamma search. All right. I think we go to the second one. Maybe we will save answers, questions. Okay. Dhammo suchinno sukama vahati. Now, how to bring happiness to our life? Now, there are lots of happiness courses. There are lots of happiness courses. How to find happiness? It's a very good question. They charge you $1,000 sometimes for this class to show you the happiness. Right? Just do what you like. Right? This is a simple thing. Do what you like. If I would say if it is not going to really harm to you or to other people. It's a simple thing. But we are more curious and more concerned about the moral part of our happiness. Sometimes we are trying to be happy. We might bring certain suffering, unnecessary things to other people. So we are very concerned about others as well in our pursuit of happiness. Now the Buddha says here, Dhammo Suchinno. This word, let's identify this Pali word. Suchinno. Why don't I erase this part? See? Have you ever heard this Pali word? Āchin. Āchin. Āchinna means habitual.
Habitual.
Habitual. Habitual.
Yeah.
So Suchinna means that habitual process has been done very well. Now, Dhamma has to be practiced as a habit so that that Dhamma brings happiness to your life. Sukham āvaka means brings. Sukham means happiness. Suchinna means practicing Dhamma as a habit. Suchin. Now it says practice well. So I would say practice well here means you are going to practice Dhamma
Habitually.
as a habit. Now what is happening to us? Is our Dhamma practice habitual? Has it been a habitual practice or has it been a very effortful practice? We are trying so hard to practice Dhamma since morning till the evening. What is going on in our life? Now, I would connect this to another thing, Āchinna, Pali word Āchinna, which is also the base for, Suchinna. It is said that when someone passes away, when someone has died, there is a certain way how our karmas are going to affect us. Not all karmas are going to affect us in the first place. I think you may have heard about these things. One of the karmas that we understand in that process is Āchinna karma, habitual karmas.
Yeah.
Let's say you, during the last moment of your life, in this life, you are going to have let's say you are a very good person. You have been doing a lot of good things. You have been practicing well, but respecting the understanding about the thoughts can go haywire anytime. When you might be the best person, you might be the good person. Like Malika's situation, Malika has done the greatest dana to the Shakyamuni Buddha. Nobody can do that. But for the last moment of her life, something that she had been hiding in her from other people came up because she was very vulnerable. And then something that she did by lying to the king, Kosala. And then she passed away with that thought and she was reborn in a hell. But then after a week of time, Āchinna karma, one of the Āchinna karmas came up. Āchinna karma, she has been doing dana and all these things. So those Āchinna karmas help her to die in that hell and then to be reborn as a deva. Right? So Āchinna means habitual practice. I think we have to discuss about Dhamma. Dhamma must be practiced as a habit. Let's talk about how to practice Dhamma as a habit. How do we do that? So we have to make Dhamma not as an artificial, superficial practice. Right? So we have to think with the Dhamma. We have to do things with the Dhamma. We have to speak with the Dhamma. Right? Sometimes there are people who are not aligning their life with these things, right? So they are going to have lots of efforts, create lots of efforts to practice Dhamma. So practice Dhamma as a habit. So when you have formed habits, it is very easy for you to practice a Dhamma. Now, when you say there is someone who is very bad, who is not a good person, what is your criterion to say that? this person has been developing, forming bad habits over many years, isn't it? It's nothing else. Bad habits. Let's say you are going to find someone who is always bad mouthing about other people. Right? Whenever that person opens the mouth, the first thing what that is happening is bad mouthing about others. So now if you look at this person's life, maybe for many years from today, this person has been doing that as a habit. It's not random. Right? So that means the activity that you have been following in the long term will become a habit. Dana, Sila, Bhavana, all these activities must have been practiced for a long time. Then they will become a habit. Right? Sometimes you might listen to a Dhamma talk one day, and then you might listen to another Dhamma talk in two more months. So that practice will not be a habit. You give a dana in May, then your next dana will be in December. So you have to keep it practicing. So then it will become a habit, right? So make Dhamma practice as a habit. So then only that practice, that habitual Dhamma practice will provide you happiness. Now let me ask you, how do you normally look for happiness with the Dhamma? I think you have your own ways to find your happiness with the Dhamma, right? Maybe engaging in temple vihara activities, donating, right? But according to this answer by the Buddha, we have to understand that our practice has to be a habitual practice. That means our default nature is our Dhamma practice, not that effortful nature. Yeah, practicing Dhamma by effort. Let's say we start our Dhamma practice by effort because our raw thoughts are kusala all the time, right? But as we practice at a certain point, our Dhamma practice has to be going really well by default. That means every time you think, all the good thoughts are coming out. You are speaking, all the good speeches are coming up, right? So it has become your habitual practice. So this practice provides you lots of happiness, long-lasting happiness. Okay? All right. Any questions about that too? This part?
Bhante,
Yes. Yeah, I think you are kind of breaking up. All right. Anybody else? Till she comes up. About the second part. Yes, Barbara, please.
I have to unmute myself.
Okay. Yes, what is the question?
Yeah. No. I just want to make a remark that yesterday a friend asked me the same question about last thoughts before they die. And what I told her was exactly what Bhante told us today. That I told her we must have habitual tendencies and have this habitual thoughts all the time, good wholesome thoughts that comes up, especially positive thoughts of what you have done before and not what you have not done and regrets and all that. So all these regrets will come up when they die. So I gave her an example of like if you were angry with your mother and then you forgot to release the apologize. So it's good to apologize now so that when your last moment you don't regret it.
Yeah.
So she was quite happy with it.
It's good to clarify all the unfinished businesses, yeah, before we pass away. Sometimes we are thinking to apologize to somebody, maybe in a couple of months, right?
Yeah.
So better not to have any unfinished business like those misunderstandings, maybe healing stuff. Yeah.
And also express gratitude. The other way, the other thing angle is to express gratitude for what you have received. So that will make you have more habitual thoughts.
Yeah. And the other thing is that if somebody is wondering about how to be happy faster in his or her life, is that whenever you have a habitual Dhamma practice, you can be happy easily, quickly, faster, quicker, right? But if you don't have a habitual Dhamma practice, if your Dhamma practice is such a hard-working practice, it might take some
Okay.
time for you to be happy, right?
Right.
Because you feel that by default you are coming up with kusala thoughts, kusala speeches, and kusala activities. You are so happy, you know. Your practice has resulted, you know. Yes, so that is the way how we are going to bring happiness faster to our life.
Mm.
All right, the third answer, what is it? Satchang have sadhu tarang prasana. Satchang means truthfulness.
Truthfulness.
Sadhu tarang means
Sweet.
the sweetest. So out of the taste, Satcha is the greatest taste. Now, when you think about taste, we are very much caught up with the physical taste, taste of the food, taste of the drinks, beverages. But here, the Buddha says metaphorically, the greatest taste is Dhamma taste, taste of the Dhamma. How to understand the taste of the Dhamma? Because in many places it is said, drink the Dhamma. Etang pivata bhikkhavu. Dhamma is like a drink. So drink it. So that has to be taken as a metaphor, right? Not in the real sense. That means when you drink something, it can what? It can fix your thirst, isn't it? Let's say you are very thirsty, and then you are going to drink something you like, and then you feel so relaxed and relieved at that point. But if you drink the Dhamma, that means if you drink this, what you call, you digest, drink the Dhamma that way, that means you are not going to be thirsty in your life. What is the thirst according to the Dhamma? Thirst is dukkha. Right? Because of the dukkha, beings have been thirsty in their life. But that thirst is a thirst that has not ever been fixed. Because when they drink something, in the short term, it will be okay. But then again, they have to drink something else. But if they drink the Dhamma, they won't be thirsty again. Because Dhamma has all the answers to the life. Right? So that is going to be the sweetest out of all the tastes. Otherwise, you have to look for the food, look for the drinks all the time. Today you are happy with a certain food, and tomorrow you are going to look for the same taste. Then when you are not able to get the same taste, you are not happy about the food. You are not happy about the beverages. But if you have the taste of the Dhamma, you are not going to worry about anything because you already had it. So now here, the Buddha clearly mentions what is the sweetest taste. It is coming from the truthfulness, satcha. It is coming from satcha. Satcha means truthfulness. That means speaking the truth. When someone is to speak the truth, that is the greatest taste. Because in this world, there are many people who are lying to each other, isn't it?
Yeah.
They are meeting liars every day, aren't we? On TV, on YouTube, right? In person. We might meet them. So there are more liars than the truthful speakers in this world. So what they are doing is they are trying to cheat on each other. How many people are cheating each other every day in this world? So they don't have the truthfulness. So the greatest taste comes from being truthful. Is it very easy to be truthful in this world? That's a good question, right? Similar question, I think the Āḷavaka should have asked from the Buddha. Bhante, is it easy to be truthful? He's asking, what is the sweetest taste in the world? Is it easy to be truthful in this world? Sometimes you know that we are supposed to be truthful, but because of the situations, you have to work with the people around you. Then you are going to mess up the situation at the end. Is it easy to be truthful?
You can
Only
sleep better
when
at
you
night,
are with the
Bhante.
right people. When you are with the right people, yes. When you are with the wrong people, yes, you have to lie, cheat every day. That's why the Buddha said, be with Kalyana Mitra. So you don't have to make akusalas, right? Otherwise, you have to create lots of akusalas to survive with these wrong people. Yes, Annie, what did you say?
I said we can sleep better if we don't lie.
Yeah, true. So it's very challenging to many people. So that's why practicing Dhamma is easy when you have set the right conditions. Don't wait for the right condition. What are the right conditions? Asevanacha bala. That means, asevanacha bala means not associating the balas, asatpurisas, papamittas. Is it easy for you to practice Dhamma when you are with the papamittas? Let's say your good friend is a drinking buddy. Always want to drink him. That is his way. So you are influenced by his way of thinking, his way of talking, his way of spending the evenings, his way of spending the other things, right? That's the problem. And your best friend is a gossiper, always calling you and then reporting to you what is happening outside around your family circles. Are you not going to be influenced by that person? Yeah, you are. You definitely are going to be affected by him. So how to stay with these people? How to practice Dhamma when you have these bad conditions? Are you going to walk away from these people? No, you don't have to. You should know how to be smart in associating these people. How to set the boundaries with these people, right? Let's say
by using skillful means, sometimes we can get through to being truthful in a very diplomatic way.
yeah,
Buddha
definitely.
has a lot of such skillful means actually.
Yes. So you have to be, I think more than practicing XYZ things in the Dhamma, you should set the conditions first. Otherwise, you can't work, right? Now, in our day-to-day life, we know there are things like terms and conditions. When you are working with other people, you have to set certain conditions. Otherwise, you can't work with them. But when it comes to family members, relatives, it's very difficult if you haven't done it at the beginning. So in order for you to practice Dhamma, in particular being truthful, then you have to set the right conditions in your life with them. Otherwise, you will have to save your lives, protect your lives, not to tell the truth, but every day what you are doing is you have to protect the lies you have given to other people. Bad stuff, because you are with the wrong people. Let's say you are with the wrong people, doesn't matter. So, but you are going to be smart not to create any more problems in your Dhamma practice. So being truthful is very important because it has been a paramita, perfection, right? Such a paramita. And it has also been one of the 3 ways to become a deva. If you want to become a deva in next life, there are 3 things you should learn. Satchang, Bhani, Nakuche, Dajja, Pasmin Piyachito. Satchang, Bhani, you must speak the truth. Devas very much like the people who speak the truth. They highly like the people who are speaking the truth. And then what do you call, Nakujjaya. Devas don't like the people who are getting angry, even for a small thing. And then, Dajja Pasmin Piyajito, Devas like those who can give what they have. Say, you may have a little, but you are able to give that little things to somebody. So these three things. So being truthful works in many ways. Dhamma practice, so it has been the, what do you call, sweetest taste. I think we can discuss more later. Just introduce these things, answers. The last one, question here is, Katang Jivin Jivita Mahu Settanti. How to have lived the best life. I think this is very important. Now, when somebody passed away, in some religious traditions, they talk about celebrating the life. What do we do when somebody passes away in our traditions? In our Buddhist traditions, I don't talk about your cultural traditions. I mean, as a Buddhist, what are we supposed to do in the funeral? Going beyond the cultural activities, we are going to talk about the good things, what you call, what he has left behind as a good person, right?
His legacy, Bhante.
Yeah, the legacy,
Yeah.
the impact on others. So this is why we are looking at how to have lived the life to the best of him or her. So it's very important. So here the Buddha's answer is Panya, right? The Buddha's answer is Panya. So the life which has been spent on wisdom is the greatest life that someone can spend. Now I'm going to ask you something. This is a homework question. Can you remember our Sutta study about Bhattakama Sutta, which we studied some time ago? And we learned about Panya, right, in that Sutta. Panya within the practice of a layperson, not in the practice of a monk. What is the Panya to a layperson? As a layperson, how to develop Panya in your life? This is the same Panya which the Buddha is talking here. If you cannot remember at the moment, I can just give you some hints. We discussed that every layperson has 4 wishes. Is it?
Yeah, yeah.
First wish is, may wealth come to me righteously. Second wish. What was second wish?
Righteous.
Fame,
Righteous
fame.
wealth.
May good reputation come to me and to
Good
my
reputation.
teachers and my others. Third wish.
Long
Longevity.
May I live longer. Now I have money, I have good reputation, now I want to live long. Fourth wish.
Good rebirth.
Good destination.
May I be reborn in a better place.
Good rebirth.
Now, the Buddha says, in order for someone to come through these wishes, that person needs to practice another 4 activities. We call them accomplishments. 4 sampada. What are they?
Sada,
Sampada,
Sada,
Sila sampada, Chaga sampada, Panya sampada. Saddha sampada means accomplishment in saddha, confidence or trust. Then Sila sampada means accomplishment in
Virtue.
morality,
Morality.
discipline. Then Chaga sampada means accomplishment in generosity. Then the last one, Panya sampada. This is what the Buddha says here. A life which has been lived on wisdom is the best life someone can spend. So, Panya sampada means accomplishment in wisdom. How to accomplish in wisdom? It is not wisdom, right? It is the accomplishment. You have to accomplish. Now, there are people who practice Sila, Saddha, Chaga, Panya, but they never accomplish. They never complete in that practice. So this completeness is what we understand by accomplishment. Now let me ask you, how did the Buddha explain to lay people to practice panya in that panya sampada?
Bhante, is it that we need to do contemplation and reflection?
No, that is the Sampasana Sutta. Sutta that we discussed before that, Patakam Sutta. Now, if you don't know how to have accomplished panya, that means you are not spending the life the way how the Buddha asks you to spend. So your life is not going to be the best life based on the wisdom. Right? It's a bit embarrassing, but there is no choice. Right?
I think Bhante is sequential, is from this dana sila, is a sequential stage to
No, they are
towards
not linear. They are not linear things that you practice dana first, then sila first. No, they have to be
Bhavana.
practiced simultaneously.
Simultaneous.
They are
Okay.
simultaneous practices. You maybe whenever opportunity arises, you practice it. Let's say today you have a dana activity, you do dana. Today evening you have a sila program, you participate in it. You
So
do all
it,
that.
Bhante, maybe it's a state whereby we are person in a state of equanimity.
Upekka.
Upeka, yeah. The state of upeka.
That is not what the Buddha has told under the Panya Sampada to the lay people. Actually, I always separate this thing. You don't see this in many places. There is a Buddhism that was given to lay people. There's a Buddhism that was given to the monks. Don't try to mess this up because otherwise you won't understand. The Buddha has clearly said for the lay people, this is how a lay person is going to practice Panya. For the monks, this is how monks are going to practice Panya. That is the highest level. Like after
But they
the
practice
sama.
live life with the precepts in mind.
No, that is a part of Sila Sampada. Now I'm asking Panya Sampada. Okay.
Remove Vyapada.
You are
Something to do with the five
coming a
hindrances.
step
Five
closer.
aggregates.
Five hindrances.
The five aggregates or hindrances.
So many answers. All right. Okay. The Buddha said, if a lay person, you, Dayaka Dayika, wants to become wise in his or her life, they must practice overcoming 5 things in their life. First one, abhijja visamaloba. Second, vyapada. Third, tīna. Fourth, uddhaca kukkuca. Fifth, vicikicca. Please keep in mind, these are not given in the way how the Pancha Nivarana were given. 5 hindrances. That's a different teaching. But you see some similarities. Let me tell you. I'm going to write them again here. It's about Panya. Lay people Panya. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lay people Panya. Okay. First one is abhijja and visamaloba. Second one, vyapada. Third one, tīna. Fourth one, uddhaca kukkuca. Fifth one, vicikicca. All right. Let me ask you, what is abhijja visamaloba? It's not kamachanda. Kamachanda was given to the meditators. If you are meditating, yes, that is kamachanda. But if you are a lay person, you simply want to live your life, then kamachanda, you need kamachanda. Otherwise, you don't have any sensual desires. How to live your day life? How to proceed with your healthy karmas? For you, it is abhijja and visamaloba. For a meditator, serious meditator, kamachanda. See how the Buddha has clearly separated these things. Huh? The problem is people don't understand. People think that, okay, as a layperson, I have to remove all my karmas, which is going to be a mess in his or her life, right? Better you become a monk and nun. You don't have to do it as a layperson. As a layperson, you are going to overcome abhijja visamaloba. What is abhijja? This one.
Ignorance.
Covetousness.
Ignorance.
Ignorance.
Greed.
Covetousness.
Covetousness.
What's that? In simple,
Covetous.
this is abhijja. Second one is lobha. Okay, normally there are translations that go by a little deeper English translation called covetousness, but I would translate this to be greed about what you
Others
have, what you have possessed is abhijja. Let's say you have money, you have wealth, you have real estate, you have vehicles, you have beloved ones, your loved ones. You may have developed a certain lobha, not a karma. Your karma can become a lobha at a certain point if you don't pay real attention to them. Actually, karma is good as long as they are karma. But some people's karmas become a lobha. Then the problem arises. Why do I say so? Go to the Karaniya-mitta Sutta. How did the Buddha say? Even people wrongly translate this sutta in this place. Tittincha anupagamma silava dassanena sampanno. Third line. Kamesu vinaya geda. Having overcome the greed in regard to the karmas. Karmas are okay for a layperson, but not the greed in regard to the karmas. Don't bring greed to your karmas. Then the problem is arising. But for a meditator, karma is also a problem. Serious meditator, for a monk, for a nun, yes, it's a problem to them. But for a lay people, karma is not a problem. Their problem is when they develop greed towards karma, then that is the problem for their life. Now, going back, abhijja means the first thing, in order you to become a wise person in the lay life is that abhijja, you have to overcome abhijja. You should not create greed towards what you have already in your life. Then visamalobha, other part of the state of mind. Visamalobha looks like it's a distorted kind of greed, not a normal greed. Visamalobha means greed about what other people have. I explained to you very clearly. Now I would explain to you this in a little bit different way. Have you ever heard someone you never know has bad mouth about you? You never met this person. You never know. But you hear from another person, that guy is always speaking bad about you. Always telling something wrong about you. You're thinking, what wrong have I done to you to speak like that? Why are you talking? Why are you spreading misinformation about me to somebody I know? Why is it? That means we may have enemies which we even don't know. Right? Because they have seen what we have, they have seen what we have owned, and on top of that, they have gone to criticize us in the wrong way. So there are people who are going to be greedy about what other people have. That is called visamalobha, which is a really, really dangerous state of mind. Now most people are struggling how to reduce the lobha that they have for what they have. And now there is someone who has it, and on top of that, this person has greed for what other people have. Right? Can you think about a very normal example? Let's say there is someone who is thinking, this person is so beautiful, prettier than me, more handsome, right? I am not, right? But that for that person, it's not that important. He or she is not even caring about his or her beauty. But there's another person who even doesn't have a good understanding about any friendship with this person. Is thinking, becoming too greedy about what that person has. So we have to be very careful. As a layperson, you should overcome if you have these two types of greeds about what you have, about what other people have. All right. Second is vyapada. Vyapada means ill will. thoughts of destroying other people. This can be a physical destroying, this can be a mental, emotional, including of bullying, torturing, whatever. Even character assassination of somebody on social media, right? Destroying anybody with a thought. I want to destroy this person. Let me ask you, how many people have you been destroying in your life without telling others as a thought so far? 1,000, or just only one person? Maybe no, exactly. That means we are having a lot of akusala thoughts, but we don't tell other people. We are trying to reduce. So if you have a habitual Dhamma practice, you will never come up with a thought of destroying someone. Yes, because those thoughts are really healthy, wholesome thoughts. Because you know that it's bad to come up with a thought to destroy someone. Naturally, your thoughts are very nice, very wholesome, kusala states. You don't have to struggle. Right? So Vyapada has to be overcoming Vyapada, coming up with the thought of saving other people, taking care of other people, practicing metta must be a natural state of mind. By default, you must have such thoughts. Not that you came up with all the killing thoughts and then you are not telling anybody, then you are trying to reduce all that within yourself. I think it's a struggle. That means you have not developed your practice well. Something somewhere wrong in your practice. Vyapada. Okay. So how to, actually it's a very good thing to think about. How to know whether you have come to that level of practice. You can know by yourself, oh, I think for the last couple of months, I haven't had any thought of killing anybody, killing any animal, killing any being. That means my practice has been flourishing, thriving, growing very well, something going on very well. I think I have come to a very paramita level. Actually, now when you think about dana, sila, bhavana, nekkhamma, satcha, kanti, aditthana, metta, upekka, people can practice them normally. But now you understand, by default, your thoughts about those states of mind have been natural. That means now you can understand you are even coming to the paramita level of those mental states. Your dana has become a paramita. Your sila has become a paramita. Your nekkhamma, other states of mind have become a paramita. You have brought your, those mental states, kusala states, to the level of, to the extent of paramita. That means you are overcoming vyapada. You don't have to worry about any thoughts because you know that your natural thoughts are very wholesome. Third one is Ti-Namitta. Ti-Namitta means laziness of
Sloth
your...
and torpor.
Yeah, sloth and torpor, they are the usual translations. But if we
Laziness.
look further about these two terms, we understand Tina and Mitta means laziness of your thoughts and laziness of your mental factors, chetasikas. Okay, what is a thought? What is a chetasika? You can't separate them. In the Dhamma teachings, you can't separate them, but we separate them, like Nama Rupa. Can we separate Nama Rupa? Mind and matter? We cannot, right? You cannot say that there is Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana separately and there is Rupa separately because we have to take them together, right? It's like the, what do you call? The white ox and the black ox who were, bound together, right? So white ox is dragging to one side, then the black ox is trying to drag to another side, pulling to the other side. But it is the same string, same rope. So we cannot separate. So in the same way, chittas and chetasikas cannot separate because chitta is the energy part of a thought. Then chetasika is the quality of the thought. Quality means loba, it could be a loba, it could be a āḷavaka, it could be a dosa, it could be a metta, it could be a saddha, it could be something else. So there are times different individuals, so we can become lazy in developing our thoughts and skills. So that is a problem. As a layperson, you should never be lazy in developing your kusala thoughts, right? So this is about the energy factor of our kusala states. Once you become very lazy, then what will happen to you? You are going to mess up again. Those times when you mess up, you think about that means you have Tina Vidya has come to me now, right? That's why I'm messing up now. Tina Vidya has come to me. How do I know I have no Tina Vidya? I'm very persistent. I'm very consistent, seamless. My practice has become very seamless. And Tina Vidya has gone away from me. I have no laziness about it. So you are working on overcoming laziness. You are very energetic in your Dhamma practice. The fourth one is Uddacha Kukkucha. You are trying to overcome Uddacha and Kukkucha. Uddacha means
Restlessness.
you are going to keep you very restful. You are keeping your rest. How to? I think I already discussed with you that day in more details. I asked you, if you really want to practice Dhamma, you should sleep well, you should eat well, you should do some exercises, keep your fit, do some walking, do a meditation, right? Do an appropriate level of socialization. All these are important because this environment is what helps you to practice the Dhamma. Can you practice the Dhamma by locking your door and being inside the room? You think that the loneliness will bring you all the Dhamma? You are going to practice Dhamma with all these conditions. And what? So, what if that you are not having enough rest in your life? What will happen to you? You are skipping your breakfast. You are skipping your lunch. You are not very much concerned about your self-care. What will happen to you? You will be easily annoyed. You will be easily
Upset.
Huh?
Upset.
Mad about people around you. So how come Dhamma will come to you? Dhamma will go away from, run away from. Because it is your problem. You have not given enough rest to your body, rest to yourself. That's why Uddatta is a problem. So we have to keep us, restful in our life. It is a very big help for us to practice Dhamma. Then the next thing is Kukkucha, regret. We should never do things that can bring remorse to our life, spiritual life in particular. But sometimes we may need to have certain guilty feelings. Do we have guilty feelings sometimes? We may have guilty feelings just to become better people. But if you have something that you feel that you are very regretful all the time, that is going to be a dosa. So don't try to make you into remorse unnecessarily, but a normal level of guilty feeling is important. At the end of the day, you might think about, I met my friend today. I think I haven't spoken to her enough today. I think I think that was not good. Maybe tomorrow I'm going to talk to this person. There were things that I have not properly done in my responsibilities. So it's a good thing. So you are going to fix that. Let's say you, as Barbara mentioned earlier, there is something that there is someone that you have not apologized in your life. So why are you delaying that? Let's go for it. Apologize to this person. So you are going to create a situation where you have the least amount of regrets in your life. So you are working on that. You are overcoming regrets you have. You are not creating regrets in your life. Last one is Vichikicha. Vichikicha means doubts. As a layperson, if you have a doubt about spirituality, you must approach and ask from the right person. Otherwise, you will die with doubts. Would you like to die with doubts? Or would you like to die without doubts? Let me tell you, one of the benefits of practicing metta, meditation or metta, is to die without being mindful. Have you ever heard that? Now, when you practice metta, there are 11 benefits. 11 benefits. I think I can post that too. You can sleep well, sukhang supati, sukhang patibujjati. You are going to wake up peaceful.
Happy.
Right? There are people who are waking up to a thunderstorm in the morning. Right? Not like that. You are waking up very peaceful. Then the papakang supinang passati. You are not going to see bad dreams. Right? You hardly see dreams. Because we understand even in psychology, when you dream, that is a moment of not sleeping, right? When you see a dream, you are not sleeping actually at that point. But body has a natural process. Body is stiffening our other activities, right? Otherwise, we are going to respond to the dreams. So when you are dreaming, the body is paralyzed in a way, stiffening yourself. The papakam supinam. Manussanam piyohoti. You are very other people think that you are a very friendly person. Amanussanam piyohoti. Even non-humans think you are a good person. Tuvatang chittang samadhiyati. You can concentrate very fast. Mukha vanno vippasitati. Your face has an aura. Your aura is going to be become a very beautiful person. You don't have to apply cosmetics. Don't spend unnecessary money on these cosmetics. Because your metta is the best cosmetic. And then it is said that Nasa Agiva Visangva Sattangva Kamati. Nobody can kill you. Nobody can attack you with a knife, maybe something, maybe with poison or other. But don't try, yeah. Don't try your metta with the poison. Definitely. There was a lady at the time of the Buddha called Samavati. Yeah? Samavati was having the greatest metta. So other co-queen called Magandiya, she threw hot water onto her. She didn't like her. But nothing happened to Samavati. For those who are reading this story might think that, okay, let me try this. Don't do such things. Because that's a high level of metta. It's not that it's not a normal metta meditation. Somebody has to practice extensively, should have that greatest heart, go to that level. Finally, it is said that asammulho kalang karoti. When you practice metta, the last benefit that will come to you is you will die asammulho. That means with mindfulness. You know you are dying. Now, this is something little different, little opposite to what people think. There are people who die in the bed, right? They go to sleep at night, by the morning they die, having a heart attack. You never know that they were mindful or a good death, according to Buddhism, is someone who is understanding, I'm going to die now, but peacefully spending that moment. So it comes to somebody because of a practice of three things: upekha, sati, and then sampajanya. Equanimity, mindfulness, and then clear comprehension. These are the things that are helpful for someone to die like this. But we don't know that everybody has an opportunity to die like this. But anyways, I'm trying to say that you won't have doubts. Let's say you have lots of doubts how to die then, because you are still thinking about it, right? So you have to clarify your doubts, spiritual doubts. That's how you are going to die without doubts. So as a layperson, you are going to dispel these five: abhijja, visamalobha, vyapada, tinamidda, uddhacca, kucca, vicikicca, so that you are going to spend your life in the wisest way. Okay, let's go back again here. I think it's pretty clear now. Saddha is the greatest wealth. That means to have confidence about you and other people around you. At the same time, on the other hand, having an unwavering saddha about the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha in the Akaravati way. Having a habitual Dhamma practice only brings you consistent happiness in your life. Maybe it brings you instant happiness as well. And then being truthful is the best way to feel the best taste. And having lived a life with Panya is the best way to have lived. All right. Any questions about today? So now we understand the best wealth, that is Saddha. True happiness is a habitual Dhamma practice. Best taste is to be truthful. Best life, a life that has spent on wisdom. Lay people wisdom. Any questions about today?
Bhante, a life to spend on wisdom, does it mean that a life spent in understanding nature?
In understanding?
Nature.
Yeah, finally you come down to that place. When you overcome these 5 things, then you understand the nature of life. Yeah, that is what is happening at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bhante.
That interpretation of wisdom is a higher way of understanding wisdom, especially that is to the monks. Sabbe sankhara anicchati, sabbe sankhara dukkhati, sabbe dhamma anattati. Everything, every conditioned thing is unsatisfactory. Then every what do you call? Every this is how it is said. And then a monk is going to be wise. But for a layperson, you are initially overcoming these 5. Then you will have wisdom. I think that activity of working on these 5 is the life of wisdom for a layperson till he passes away. She passes away. Right? Any more questions for today's lesson?
Bhante, is this applies to the meditators as well? As a layperson, right?
Yeah. Because you are meditating as a layperson.
Oh,
You are meditating as a layperson. Then your panya is this. If you are meditating as a monk, then that is a different panya. Higher panya. That's why we should be very careful. We should not, mix them up.
okay. Thank you, Bhante.
And these 5 things, we are talking panya a little bit more today. These 5 things are activities you can do in your daily life. Like small things. Abhijja, domanassa, they can come to you at different times. You're going to overcome them. Then it will become a habitual practice of not making them. So you could do small things. So day by day, you are going to improve. All right. It seems that there are no more questions in that case. Yes, Corina.
Maybe you can write in the chat there the 5 aggregates because I didn't have the time to jot it down just now.
Not 5 aggregates. 5 things that a layperson should overcome in order to become wiser.
Oh, okay. Maybe you can write.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, then let's transfer all the good karmas to the departed ones and share with the Devanaga Mahitika. May all the good karmas which we've been making today by learning very important answers to very important questions, questions asked by Āḷavaka and answered by the Buddha, be transferred to all the departed ones who passed away, the name of all of us. May they be well and happy. May they attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idam me jati nang homu sukita hontu. Idam me jati nang homu sukita hontu. Idam me jati nang May Deva Naga Mahinika also share all these good karmas. May they be well and happy. May they protect and bless all of us for good health, quality of life, prosperity, and safety. In particular, may they bless our Dhammajans, and finally, may they attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu. Ittavata cha amihi sambatang punya sampadang sabi deva anudantu sabbasang patti siddhya. Ittavata cha amihi sambatang punya sampadang sabi bhuta anudantu sabbasang patti siddhya. Ittavata cha amihi sambatang punya sampadang sabi satta anudantu sabbasang patti siddhya. Akasattha Chamata Devanaga Mahitika Bunyantang Anumoditva Chirang Rakhang Tulukasasana. Akasattha Chamata Devanaga Mahitika Bunyantang Anumoditva Chirang Rakhang Tulesana. Akasattha Chamata Devanaga Mahitika Bunyantang Anumoditva Chirang Rakhang Tumang Paranti, Chirang Rakhang Tumang Sada. At the same time, we are making our great wish. Our great wish includes to become surrounded with Kalyan Mitas. Kalyan Mitas are very important. Even we know a lot of Dhamma, we might not be able to practice without the association of the Kalyan Mitas. So may we be in the company of Kalyana Mitas, still be attain Nibbana. Thinking thus, we're going to make the wish. Imina punya kammena mami bala samagamu satang samagamu hotu yavaripa bhaktiya. Finally, may all the good karmas which we've been making today, our Sutta discussion day 99 today, I think we'll be doing our 100th discussion next Friday. May all these good karmas be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu.
Sadhu. Sadhu.
Abhivadana siddhisse nichang vaddha pachaino chattaro dhamma vaddhanti ayuvano sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti me vache Apuripara sampatti iminati samicchatu. Sadhu, sadhu. With that, the discussion for today is going to end.
Okay.
Wishing you a good night. And
good night, Bhante. See you next week.
Friday.
Good night, Bhante. Thank you. Have a good rest.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
Bhante.
Teaching.
Good night.
Thank you. Good
Good
night,
night.
Bhante and everyone.
Yes, good night. See you next week.
Sadhu, sadhu. Good night.
Sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, everybody.
Bhante, one question from Annie.
Yes.
Bhante, about consistent practicing of dana, right? I'm setting myself as example. It is also related to what you say about the cooked food that what should serve to the monk. If the cooking for the day is tastes well, then I will offer. If it doesn't taste good even to my standard, I will not offer. Or should I offer whether it tastes good or not? Then it becomes a daily habit. Otherwise, my habit is if it tastes good, I will offer. If it doesn't taste good, I will not offer.
it is not a matter of offering at that point, and better to try to cook well, I think, to the
Yeah, but it doesn't
to
taste
the
good. I
point.
mean, to my standard, then
Yeah.
it,
To your standard, it might not be good, but yeah. So, but it should be still good, right? Okay.
no, it's not good.